what we're demonstrating here today is both the performance and benefits of our new Force Evo formulation. So one of the things that we always do when we develop new formulations or test new chemistry for rootworm control is make sure that it performs up to our expectations. The Force brands have been sold now for over 25 years, and growers have come to expect a high level of performance from them. So what we do to make sure that new formulations will also perform well is to put them through sort of an acid test. So the way that we do that is we take an untraded hybrid. So in other words, this hybrid has no below ground traits. We put it under high pressure situations, and you can see that in a case where you have no traits and no insecticide, you have plants that are pretty chewed up. That obviously is already showing some goosenecking, and it's when you have that compromise of a root system, you're not going to be happy with the way that plant performs. You take that same hybrid. This is all from the same trial. So this one has no traits, but has Force Evo insecticide on top of it. This is the 8-ounce rate, which would be the most typical rate that would be used, and you can see that Force, as we have come to expect, provides excellent protection of the roots. This is one of our competitors. It's Capture LFR from FMC at 2 different rates, but even at the high rate of 12 ounces, you can see certainly that it's doing something, but we've recognized for many years that Capture just won't hold up to under really high pressure like we've seen in this trial. So that's kind of the story that we're familiar with. The new story is really around the Force Evo formulation. So we've been selling a liquid version of Force for a number of different years. It only goes through a closed application system that you see right here. So it's presented in a bag, in a box. And then couplers hook up to this. And the Force Evo is direct injected either into a fertilizer stream or into water, whichever you choose. Load the soil back. We also recognized, so this Force CS has been offered for a number of years, but we did recognize that there were some problems with it. One of the problems that we encountered, that growers encountered, is under cold planting conditions, this formulation would tend to crystallize. And once it crystallizes, it starts to clog screens. And that's not a good thing because that results in a work stoppage during a critical planting period. And I can tell you that growers are typically unhappy with that situation where they're having to stop planting. The other thing about this older formulation was that it was kind of hit and miss in terms of fertilizer compatibility. And so when we went back to the drawing board, we challenged ourselves to solve at least those two things. What we have now is the new Force Evo formulation, and we have a simple demonstration here in a vial that shows you how improved the flowability is. That's the most visually striking. What you can also see is that we don't leave residue on the sides of the container, whereas with the old formulation it would leave more residue on the sides of containers. And of course those are the surfaces that are within your application equipment. So the end result is that the new formulation is going to result in much easier and much more thorough clean out. What you can see demonstrated by the visual here is the much improved cold tolerance. So the new Force Evo formulation we have improved the cold tolerance by a full 25 degrees Fahrenheit. This used to start to crystallize around 45 degrees Fahrenheit. You can take this Force Evo down to about 20 degrees and it won't crystallize. Even if it does crystallize at temperatures colder than that, it will go back into solution once you get the temperatures warmed up a little bit and with a little agitation. Once the old formulation crystallized, there really wasn't a way to get it back into solution. So we feel like we've really addressed some of the challenges with the old formulation, and moving forward, we're really confident that growers are going to have a much improved experience by moving to the Force Evo formulation. We will not be selling the CS formulation anymore. The Force Evo formulation is now registered, and it will be available this fall for purchase, and we'll be moving to the Force Evo formulation in 2018.